In a world where women are constantly told to give, explain, compromise, and justify, there is a new kind of power rising, the power of mystery, self-respect, and sovereignty. Today, you're about to step into a mindset that protects your energy, honors your worth, and elevates your identity. A woman's inner world is her power source, her engine, her fire. It's the place where she stores her wisdom, her instincts, her intuition, her resilience, and her truth. That space must be protected at all costs, because once someone can reach inside it, they can shape your emotions, influence your decisions, and distort your sense of self. Too many women hand over their inner world too quickly, thinking vulnerability means giving someone full access. But real strength is knowing what to share, when to share, and who has earned the right to receive it. Your emotions are not entertainment. Your pain is not a playground. And your history is not a manual for someone to control you. When you protect your inner world, you reclaim authority over your life. Think about it, your emotions are powerful. They guide your decisions, influence your confidence, and shape how you react under pressure. If a man knows every fear, every insecurity, every old wound, he can push the buttons that make you shrink or doubt yourself. Not always intentionally, but even unintentionally, he now has the keys to places that should only open for someone who has proven consistency, maturity, and respect. When you overshare too soon, you give away control over your emotional landscape. When you hold back and share slowly, you maintain your strength. You create balance. You create stability. And most importantly, you create respect. A woman who protects her inner world walks with a different energy. She doesn't react to everything. She doesn't open up to everyone. She doesn't explain herself just because someone demands answers. Her silence is powerful, not passive. Her boundaries are clear, not cruel. This kind of woman becomes magnetic because she does not spill her soul to anyone who asks. She waits, she observes, she chooses. And in that choosing, she becomes untouchable. She becomes valued. She becomes unforgettable. You must understand this. Not every man deserves to know how you feel. Not every man deserves the story behind your scars. Not every man has earned the privilege of hearing your deepest truth. Women often believe that honesty means exposure, but honesty simply means being real. Being real does not require revealing everything. You can be genuine without being transparent. You can be kind without being open. You can be loving without being unguarded. Protecting your inner world does not make you cold, it makes you whole. The world is filled with people who want access to your energy, but not responsibility for how they handle it. That's why emotional boundaries matter. When you let every mood, every comment, every opinion shake your peace, you lose the power you were born with. Your inner world should be a sanctuary, not a battlefield. And the moment you start guarding it, your confidence rises, your clarity sharpens, and your relationships improve. Because people treat you based on the standard you set. When you protect your emotional space, you teach others how to interact with you. You show them that you are not easily manipulated, not deeply influenced by superficial behavior, and not willing to hand over your soul just because someone shows interest. A protected inner world doesn't mean you never open up. It means you open up intentionally. You don't give a man your emotions in exchange for attention. You don't share your pain hoping he will save you. You don't reveal your insecurities hoping he will reassure you. You build yourself first. You steady yourself first. You heal yourself first. Then from a place of strength, not desperation, you choose what to let someone know. When a woman masters this, she becomes unbreakable. She becomes emotionally independent. She becomes the kind of woman who cannot be controlled, manipulated, or underestimated. And that is the essence of true feminine power. Your goals are the blueprint of your future, the architecture of the life you're building, and the proof that you are not here just to exist, you're here to rise. But those goals must be protected with intention and wisdom. Not everyone deserves access to your dreams, because not everyone has the mindset to understand them, support them, or help you elevate them. A woman's ambition is one of the most powerful forces on this planet. And when she exposed it to the wrong man too early, she risks inviting doubt, discouragement, or subtle sabotage. Protecting your growth is not secrecy. It's strategy. It's choosing to share your vision only with those who can add value instead of draining your momentum. Your dreams are delicate in their early stages. They need nurturing belief, discipline, and focus. The wrong influence, even a simple negative comment, can plant doubt in your mind and slow you down. If you tell a man your plans before he understands your worth, he may unintentionally minimize them. He may suggest you be realistic, slow down, or not aim too high. He might see your ambition as a threat instead of a strength. And when a woman bends her goals to fit someone else's comfort zone, She starts shrinking in ways she doesn't realize. A dream can die quietly, not because you weren't capable, but because someone close to you didn't believe in it. When you guard your goals, you keep your power where it belongs inside you. You don't wait for validation. You don't seek approval. You move silently, build quietly, and reveal only when the foundation is strong enough to withstand judgment. There is something incredibly powerful about a woman who grows privately. She becomes unstoppable because she does not need applause to keep going. She does not need encouragement to stay committed. Her motivation comes from within, and that makes her unshakable. A man who has not yet proven his loyalty, consistency, and respect has no business knowing the details of your vision. Before you give someone access to your future, you must first observe how they treat your present. Do they support your growth? Do they respect your time? Do they encourage your independence? If the answer is no, then revealing your dreams becomes a risk, not a partnership. Protecting your goals is not about hiding. It's about examining who deserves a place in your future. Your dreams will demand sacrifices, late nights, and a level of focus that not everyone will understand. Some men might want your attention more than your growth. Some might feel insecure watching you evolve faster than they do. You must be wise enough to see this early. A woman who protects her dreams understands that growth often creates distance, and she is not afraid of that distance. She knows that people who belong in her future will rise with her. Those who don't will naturally fall away. When you guard your vision, you create a container where your potential can expand freely. You don't let anyone project their fears onto your destiny. You don't let their limitations become your boundaries. You build in silence, and you reveal only when you're ready. And when you finally succeed, when you step into the life you envision, you'll realize that keeping your goals private wasn't about secrecy. It was about respecting the magnitude of your purpose. A woman who protects her growth becomes a force of nature. She becomes a creator, not a follower. She becomes a leader, not a seeker of permission. She becomes the version of herself that her younger self dreamed of. And that kind of woman cannot be stopped, doubted, or redirected. She is driven by her own inner fire, and she does not hand that fire to anyone who cannot hold it. There is a unique kind of power in a woman who knows her limits, but never exposes them. When you reveal your weaknesses, your fears, or what you can't live without, you give someone a roadmap to influence you. People, even unintentionally, tend to push where they know you bend. That is why a woman must guard her limits with the same intensity she guards her heart. The moment you announce what breaks you, someone will eventually test it. The moment you declare what you desperately want, someone may try to use it as leverage. Strength isn't about being perfect, it's about refusing to hand over the parts of yourself that can be used against you. A woman who doesn't reveal her limits becomes unpredictable in the best way. She becomes someone who cannot be manipulated, cornered, or emotionally controlled. Men respect what they cannot easily figure out. When you hold your boundaries quietly, without explaining, begging, or warning, you show that you have standards that exist with or without approval. Your silence becomes a shield. Your calm becomes authority. And your ability to walk away becomes your most powerful weapon. When you never reveal your breaking point, no one can push you to it. Too many women hand over their limits hoping to create trust. They say things like, "I can't handle being alone. I can't lose you. I'm afraid of being abandoned." They think honesty will bring connection, but instead, it often brings imbalance. Once someone knows you fear being left, they know you won't leave, even when you should. Once someone knows your trigger points, they know exactly where to press during arguments. Once someone knows your emotional dependence, they feel less pressure to honor your needs. Never reveal what you can't live without. Never reveal where you feel weak. Never reveal what you're afraid to lose. A powerful woman reveals only what strengthens the relationship, not what weakens her. This doesn't mean you hide forever. It means you choose wisely. You protect yourself until someone has shown consistency, empathy, and emotional maturity over time, not in words but in actions. When someone has earned your vulnerability, they will treat it with care, not advantage. But until then, your limits are your own. You don't need to advertise them. You don't need to justify them. You don't need to explain why you do what you do. The right person will respect your boundaries without needing a detailed manual. A woman who keeps her limits private also maintains a sense of emotional independence. She knows she can survive on her own. She knows she can rebuild, restart, and reinvent herself at any moment. That confidence radiates. It makes her someone who chooses rather than pleads, who decides rather than waits, who leads rather than follows. Men are drawn to this energy. not because it is arrogant, but because it is rare. A woman who cannot be emotionally cornered becomes someone who commands respect naturally. Your limits are part of your strategy. They are part of your inner strength, your emotional balance, and your long-term self-protection. When you keep them hidden, you maintain the upper hand in your own life, not to control others, but to ensure no one else controls you. You move with confidence because no one knows how to weaken you. You love with strength because you do not rely on desperation. You communicate with clarity because you are not afraid of losing anyone. And that creates a different level of freedom. When a woman understands this, she stops letting people drain her energy. She stops tolerating disrespect. She stops reacting emotionally to every situation. She becomes grounded, poised, and calm under pressure, because she knows something others do not. Her limits may exist, but they are invisible, and that invisibility is her armor. It is what makes her unbreakable. It is what allows her to rise above manipulation and stand in her full power. A woman who never reveals her limits becomes a woman no one can diminish.